EP's mobile coverage is brought to you by GameLoft, makers of Asphalt 8 Airborne, which you can play on your Android or iOS device for free right now.
I was a little concerned a while ago when there was a Halo game on a mobile device. I thought maybe it'd only stay on a Windows mobile device, but now we can play it on iOS, Victor Lucas. So that's exciting. But we're talking about two Halo games now. We have Halo Spartan Assault that came out a year ago on iOS devices, and Halo Spartan Strike that just came out recently, actually, earlier this year.
Ready up, Spartan. The data pad is near a downed spirit on the other side of the roof.
Assault was out on the Windows Phone. It also came out on Xbox 360, and it was kind of hampered by some in-app purchases, and it was a little bit clunky. It wasn't as good and as fun and as effortlessly enjoyable as it should have been. But it's been kind of tweaked and improved, and certainly you pay the price and you get the game kind of vibe from Assault now. But I think the real story out of these two is Strike is pretty phenomenal. It's one of the best of the dual-stick shooters you can find on the App Store right now.
Is exactly how it should be.
Yes.
The successor should be the better. I am really excited about these games because I love twin-stick shooters. I absolutely love them, and I've been loving them more, especially on the iPad, because you wouldn't think that they'd work so well, but they do. I mean, the controls here are pretty seamless. There are hiccups along the way, especially when you need to double tap on the screen or you need to exit a certain area.
Or it gets hot and heavy and your thumb starts to sweat
slipping
a little bit and then it slides around.
You start slipping, because you don't have that tactile feedback of a controller. Oh God, Victor Lucas, don't even get me started with your friggin' controller.
I pull up the Moga Rebel or the little tiny controller that I have, and these games are unbelievably fun. And the cool thing about them is that they remind me of Halo Wars, which was that RTS, that top-down, good idea, but a little bit kind of inappropriate for a console kind of game that was released a few years ago. It was, I love the look and feel of it, but I wanted a more second-to-second action experience, and that's exactly what you get here. And if you get a controller, it's like you're playing an arcade sort of Robotron version of Halo on a tiny little arcade machine if it's on your phone. It's so fun.
But some people don't have these controllers.
Yes.
And I need to know if it'd be worth it for you if you didn't have a controller.
This is another reason you gotta get a controller now.
Oh my goodness.
If you have an iPhone and you're a gamer on your iPhone or your iPad, get a controller.
Not everybody carries man satchels.
Well, you get a man satchel first, a good one that you like. And then you get a controller because there are more and more awesome games like these two coming out, and Transistor was another recent one.
That's true.
You know, this is totally justifying the purchase of this. It's so fun, it's so replayable as well, because, all of this candy that comes at you is so addictive.
Yeah.
I mean, the dual stick shooters have that quality anyways, going right back to the roots, right back to Robotron. It's fun to replay these things. It's fun to just feel that sort of run and aim and shoot at the same time kind of vibe.
Yeah, because it's all happening at once. You're doing it so quickly and everything's coming at you. And I love, just Halo's so great with the mapping system and just knowing exactly what you need to do and where you need to go. There's no confusion there.
The vehicle controls are a little cumbersome, but pulling a guy off of their vehicle or out of a turret is still incredibly exciting. It's amazing the minutiae of the moment. It's all been shrunk down to this little ant size, but it still feels like you're playing the first-person Halo experience, which hats off to the developers. Strike is way better than Assault, though. Assault is definitely aged. It doesn't look as good. Meanders a little bit. Strike is better narratively.
I wish there was just a better way to throw a grenade. I just hate the double tap because you gotta stop and you gotta double tap. I know controller. Okay, yes, controller. Fine, I will take my controller with me everywhere I go from now on.
Get a satchel. What are you gonna give Halo Spartan Assault?
Halo Spartan Assault gets a 7.
Gets an 8 from me on iOS. What are you gonna give Spartan Strike?
Gets an 8.5.
Now I'm gonna give that one a 9. Great work, Microsoft and 343.